Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden and YouTube. If you are watching this YouTube, could you please make this thing set up so that it's all automated in the beginning? So when I say that I'm going live, I don't have to keep refilling out the same thing over and over again. Can I save those things so I can just hit go live? It's all done. I don't have to fill it in because that's really tedious after a while. Okay, I'm done like updating YouTube. So I was talking about the psychology of safety, and this is where it's extraordinary. How do I even begin? I was talking about my rape and how that led to my distancing myself from my community, and now I'm starting to feel safe. Once I feel safe, I'm able to dive back in and slowly go back into the pool. But it's a matter of nurturing this safety in me, and I know how to do it. I know exactly what it is. And so basically, it's all revolves around our defense system. This is the number one. This is how you knock it all over to get it started. So I'm going to start this, and I'm going to be talking a lot about safety for the next 20 years. Get used to it. So it all starts with safety. We think it's something else. We think it's awareness. And this has been the problem is we're all over the place going, well, maybe it's this. Well, maybe it's this. No, I think it's this. And I'm sitting here going, shut up, everybody. There's too much noise. It's safety. It's safety, and I can prove it. So it was like this massive realization that, yeah, really, it's we have a defense system inside of our bodies, inside of our minds, our subconscious mind, and this defense system is basically built up of two elements: our voices and our actions. Two tools. That's all we've got. Two tools, and it happens in a stage. The first stage is boundary setting. We're violated, and we use our voice to say, no, that's not okay. That's a line. And we draw the line in the sand. That's boundary setting. And then somebody steps forward. Now, they'll either respect the boundary and they'll back off. Those are good people. Or they will violate the boundary and get in your face and challenge you. Those are bad people. Those people, I just had a wave of pang. I need to deal with it. I'm sorry. The people who violate your boundaries, yeah, this conversation is definitely bringing up a lot, and it hurts. That's guilt. That's proper guilt. That's healthy guilt. All right, Rick, I will take care of that. I have a lot of unresolved things in my past, recent things that I'm now sorting through. So, when you draw a line in the sand, a bad person will violate that boundary, challenge it. That's a narcissist, basically. And I'll explain why later. Why? It's like this makes so much sense to me, but they will violate the boundary. And now it's up to you to retaliate, to take action. This is where a lot of people get this wrong. Most people have a problem even speaking up. There's a reason for that, and I can explain why later. Other people, when they are given this information, they back off, they back down, and they never come forward with it. And what that ends up doing is they basically walk all over your defense system and they do whatever they want to you and you're violated. And there's several kinds of violations and there are several types of defenses. The first kind of violation is unintentional. When you have somebody who is a good person, they just unmindfully or without them being aware of it violate a boundary. I'm going to use a simple one. My name is Anna. That is what I go by. Anna or Anna. I always introduce myself as Anna. I love Anna Imagination. That is my name. That is my name. That's been my name for 3 years. My legal name is Angela. I really don't like that name. So I call myself Anna. I go by Anna. I've been Anna since I was 15 years old. Joanna. is actually my name. Oh God, it feels so good to say it. Joanna. That's my name, Joanna. But I go by Anna for short. Feels really good being me. Yeah, that's been my name for literally since I was 15 years old. But my family did not respect that boundary. And they insisted on calling me Angela anyway for 30 years. They still call me Angela. And I have told them to call me Anna or Joanna, and they won't. So I associate the name Angela with being violated because I set a boundary for 30 years and they keep violating that boundary. I went upstate this weekend, or yeah, last weekend for my son's graduation. And again, people were calling me Angela. And I was just, every time I heard it. And this morning, I had one of my most beautiful souls, absolutely a beautiful lady. She's been 100% supportive. She's phenomenal. I love her to pieces. And she messaged me and called me Angela. And I said, no, Anna. Please call me Anna. And I'm sure, she will apologize and, correct herself. But that's respect. That's exactly it. That's respect. Disrespect is when they ignore you and they call you whatever they want anyway. My son's name is Daniel. My son does not like the name Danny. He has not since he was 4 or 5 years old. And he started going around telling everybody, call me Dan. Call me Dan. Call me D-Tad. Do not call me Danny. No, there wasn't a question. Okay. And from that point on, I call my son Dan or Daniel. And yet I hear my entire family constantly calling him nothing but Danny. The same disrespect, the same boundary being violated. And I see him just jerking every time they say it. The same way I jerk every time they call me Angela. Like, oh, no, it's Anna. Why are you giving me a label? And that's what it is. Every time they don't honor my name, it's actually a label. They're taking away my name again. And it's been 30 years. And they've been doing the same thing to my son for almost 10 years. This is part of the cognitive core health. It's small. Yeah, it's small. And it's so significant. Names are the core of our identity. They are our titles. They are the very things that give us definition of who we are. Oh my God, are they so fucking powerful? A name is everything. And I will absolutely support this till the day I die because I was the person who watched my name get taken away from me and replaced with a different label. And I'm going, what are you doing? I don't want a label. I want a name. A name defines who I am. It tells a story. It tells my story. Whatever they call me, if I don't like it, it's because it does not ring through to my validated self. It contradicts my frequency. And that's what it is. It just contradicts my frequency. And that hurts me. Calling my son Danny contradicts his frequency. And it hurts him. And it's a basic, hey, please. This causes me pain because it does not match my frequency. Don't do it. It's simple. And yet they won't. Every time they call him Danny, they silence his voice. He has told them. And they silence his voice, and they silence his voice, and they silence his voice. Okay, so the next time I hear him being called Danny, I am going to blow the fuck up and be like, you keep violating him. He gave you a boundary. He told you what to do, and you ignored him. You dismissed the importance of this boundary, and it causes him mental pain because it does not ring true to his truth and frequency. You do not get to decide how unimportant or important a name or a title is. I get to decide that for myself. You don't get to decide what hurts me and what doesn't hurt me. You don't get to decide at what degree something hurts me. It doesn't work that way. Now I'm going to show you something. Pay attention. That pain gets to determine how safe I am. That pain is a metric of my safety, of my psychological safety. So every time I hear the name Angela, I get pain and my safety drops. Pain and safety. Come on, people, do the math. The polar opposite of pain is safety. I just realized this. I need to write it down. Just give me a second here because this is me working. This is why it's under Psych Soup. So you have pain or safety. And the amount of pain you have is proportionate to the amount of safety you don't have. I'm going to say it again. The amount of pain you have is an exact metric of the amount of safety you don't have. I'm going to put that in here at 11 minutes so I know to go in here and check it because that's my bookmark. The amount of pain you have is a perfect metric for the amount of safety you don't have. Do I have your attention? So that when you turn down your pain, your safety increases. But if you turn up the pain, your safety decreases. If your pain is up here, you've got all these things inside of you screaming, you are not safe because you're hurt. The defense system decreases pain and increases safety. Now watch this. If you use a boundary and it's respected, it will turn down the pain and increase your safety. I realized that I owe an apology to somebody because I violated their boundaries, which is why he's in pain. When I need to apologize. And this is it. When somebody is mad at you or they hurt you or you hurt them, it's because you violated their boundaries. Now they may have been terrible at setting them, but you still violated their boundaries. And so I'm apologizing because I see it now. By the way, this is why conscious awareness is so fucking important. Because if you have conscious awareness, you can fix anything. Only now do I realize to what extent I have done this and what it has cost you. I am so very deeply sorry for violating and disrespecting your boundaries. I am sorry. Yeah. So this is why boundaries are so important. Whether or not somebody has the ability and right to voice them, that's a whole nother problem. And I'm going to talk about that. But that's it. Pain and safety are sisters. Emotions are related to each other, like compound emotions and that spectrum. I was thinking it was comfort zone. It's not comfort zone. Comfort zone is safety. Comfort zone is the delusion. It's not. It's safety. Safety is the opposite of pain. They are sister emotions. So the less safety you have, the more pain you're going to have because your cognitive core is communicating to you, hey, we're not safe. Now, how do you get to feel safe? Safety comes from the defense system, not the fear system run by Jerry over there who's panicking. The fear system kicks on when the defense system fails. So, when you have a defense system, your ability to voice your boundaries, enforce your boundaries, voice them and enforce them, communicate them and enforce them. When you fail to do this, your fear system turns on because it's a backup to the defense system. The problem is the fear system is inadequate. Yes, Jerry, it's inadequate. The fear system is inadequate. The defense system is really what you need because the fear system enables your feeling unsafe. It actually makes it worse. The more fear you have, oh my God. It's, let me show you this. It's like, not only is it pain is up here and fear is down here. Now, pain triggers fear. Pain actually triggers fear. Ha! You know, I have a lot of baby birds all over my yard. I'm a birder. I got to write this down. Pain triggers fear. Pain triggers fear. And it always fascinated me. Every time I had like 8 bird nests in my gardens. I had 9 gardens and I had 8 bird nests. I had a full bird sanctuary for a backyard. I didn't just have a backyard. I had a bird sanctuary. I had turtle doves, blue jays, cardinals, sparrows. Who doesn't have sparrows? I had robins, chickadees. Ho, ho. I was trying to get hummingbirds, and I had turtle doves were amazing because they nest on the ground in my lilac trees. So I had like baby. It was beautiful. I had black-eyed juncos and catbirds. Catbirds are amazing. Catbirds is a bird that yells like a cat, which is really funny when you have a cat outside looking at the bird, chirping at it like a bird. So I would have catbirds outside going, yeah, yeah. That's how they sound. And I had my cat inside going, animals are weird. It was so wonderful. It was so wonderful. And oh, I love the black-eyed juncos. They were so stunning. But catbirds were one of my favorites. But my point is, when they were fledglings, they had no fear. I cannot tell you how many times I walked outside, scooped up little itty bitty baby birds, and carried them around. To safety because they were mostly flopping all over my yard. And I'm like, dudes, I'm trying to mow the lawn. So I'd pick up all the birds. I had to check for wildlife every time I mowed my grass. I had to look for baby rabbits. I had to look for baby birds. Sometimes I would mow and I'd see baby birds going, woo, and they'd flip or fly. And I'm like, oh my God, baby birds. So I'd pick up the baby birds and I'd gently, not throw them, I'd gently put them back in the bushes for the mummies to find. And they would live in my hostas. It was absolutely beautiful. But the amazing thing about my baby birds is that they had no fear, none whatsoever. And it wasn't until they were older that they developed fear. And but then this is in us because pain triggers fear. Because pain literally is the catalyst. So if you never feel pain, you won't have fear. The more pain you feel, the more fear you're going to feel. So it's safety. Ready? Safety is like the whole thing. Safety, pain. Safety goes down, pain goes up. Now, boom, that triggers fear. Now, fear goes up. And that's why you have the fear system, the defense system, which is that ability to manage and navigate your level of pain versus safety. So whenever you feel pain, what you really lack is safety. That's really what you need. Now, to eliminate pain and fear, all you have to do is turn up your safety. The only way you can turn up your safety is by setting boundaries and enforcing them. But here's the problem: in order to set boundaries, you have to have courage. And if your fear is way up here, see the catch 22. This is the catch 22. This is the fear. This is the fear loop. This is the fear safety loop. You have to reduce the fear, bring up the courage and the strength and the confidence to say, this is my boundary. So last Monday, I was upstate for my son's graduation, and I was not okay. Okay, first of all, I was high. I had every time I'm on the bus or I take public transportation, I get high because woo, it's an adventure. It takes a train ride and turns it into an adventure. So I had a 3-hour bus ride, so I got high. And I'm like, yes, adventure. So I was on the bus and I was heading upstate from New York City upstate. It's a 3-hour bus ride. So and it was actually they took me somewhere else. So it was actually a 4-hour bus ride. So I had a 4-hour bus ride. I was leaving my beautiful safety net of New York City, and I was being taken to this nightmare hellhole. I get there. I'm tired. I'm triggered. And when I got there, I was anticipating all of this comfort. And when I got there, I didn't get comfort. I got stranger. I got unfamiliarity. I'm no longer familiar with it upstate. Even my things. The only thing that felt good was my son. I felt solid. Okay, this is my son. But everything else, my things did not give me comfort. My apartment upstate did not give me comfort. It did not feel like home. So the only solid benefit, one of the two solid benefits that I had for going upstate wasn't even there. And I cried. I'm like, this isn't comfortable anymore. I really do not live upstate anymore. My rhythm has been completely cut off, and I have fully adjusted to the rhythm of New York City. Thank God. I have officially switched over, so my energy is aligned with Manhattan. And I felt it as soon as I got off the bus into Manhattan. It was 10 o'clock that night. And oh my God, it was just like this wave of relief just filled me like, this is what it feels like. This is so comfortable. And I could just breathe so easily again. And I felt like I had just slipped into some comfortable pajamas. I say jammies. Yeah, I just felt like I had slipped into some comfortable jammies, and I just felt so home because the frequency matched mine. That's safety. So my stepfather felt that this was the time to start lecturing me on my life choices. Now, in addition to this, he went out for food and came back with meat. I'm a vegetarian. And he brought it into my home. So he brought in chicken wings and pepperoni pizza. He didn't even get cheese pizza or a split cheese. And no, it was just salad, pepperoni, and chicken. And he brought it into my home. And he threw it down. He's like, there, eat. And I'm going, so I like pulled the pizza pepperoni off. I was struggling with this. So already I'm feeling violated. By this point, he's called me Angela like 18 times. So I'm like, wow, violations like galore. And then he says, you need to eat some chicken wings. Violation galore. I said, I'm a vegetarian. Boundary 1. He basically said, fuck that shit. Disrespected. Then he proceeds to tell me everything wrong with my life and how I'm making terrible choices and how my situation, I don't know. I cut him off at that point and said, and I'm listening to him, and I stopped listening to him. And instead, I started having an internal conversation with Rick. He's going, my subconscious mind, he's going, you know what he's doing? You can hear it. And I started picking apart the psychoanalysis of what he was doing. He's gaslighting me. He's telling me what to do. This is a man who ignored my traumas and rapes, but he's going to advise me on what's right and good for me. And he's like, it's hurting you. These opinions of him are hurting you, Anna. You can feel it. Do something. And I did. I felt my defense system wake up. And I said, Excuse you. I don't need to hear this. I don't give a shit what you think of me or my life choices, and I don't need to hear it anymore. Boundary laid. He ignored my boundary, basically told me to fuck off, and then proceeded to tell me how much he hates New York City, which happens to be my home. There is nothing I hate more than people telling me how they hate New York City. Hey, it's my fucking home. I don't go into your home and tell you how much I hate your shit because that's fucking rude. I really, really have a problem with people who hate on New York City because it disrespects the fact that it's my home and it's home to like all of these people here too. And most of us like it here, which is why we're here. Don't shit on my fucking home. It's just not cool. It's a boundary. Well, I grew up listening to this complaint from everybody in my life about the evils of New York City. I blew up. I stood up and I just started screaming. And I told him, no, I am not listening to you anymore. You are not going to tell me what you think all my problems are. You don't give a fuck. You never bothered to care. You never did anything. I am tired of people. And I just blew up and screamed. The narcissist threw down the food, said, I'm out. And he walked away, which is what narcissists do. When they get boundaries, they don't like them and they walk away. And that's exactly what he did. And I didn't care. Oh, I felt so liberated. And I will tell you the emotions that followed. I felt confident. I felt safe. I felt safe because I defended me. Oh my God, it was so liberating. It really was. It was the first time I stood up to somebody there and I said, no, I will not do this. I do not need to. This is my home. This is my life. These are my choices. And this is my subconscious mind. And you don't get to get in there and dig it up. It's mine. Mine, 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 mine. And that's it right there. You have your body, your ability to protect your body. Been raped. I get this. I've been beaten. I have worn chains. I get it. I know what it feels like. But having something inside of your head, taking your subconscious mind away from you, taking your perspective away from you, taking your beliefs and your identity away from you, that is a violation. That is so worse than rape. No one should live with that. And yet, almost every one of us does. We have our subconscious mind taken away from us. Let's talk about the violation of our minds. And because our conscious awareness is so low, we're not feeling it. We don't know. So this is me taking your conscious mind going, hey, honey, you got to wake up, baby. You got to wake up. It's time to listen. It's time to wake up. Conscious awareness. You got to get up because your subconscious mind has been taken away from you, violated. And the system is going off, the defenses are down, and the fear system is in place, and you got the neighbor kid in there eating your food, telling you everything, all this bullshit. You got all these players interfering with your system, and we're all focused about what they do to us physically. Oh, honey, let's talk about what they're doing to us mentally. It is psychological warfare. That's what trauma really is. And when they physically violate you, that's two offenses. There's the psychological warfare and the physical warfare back to back on top of each other. And if it's just name calling at a playground, that's just psychological warfare. That's a big fucking deal. It is a big fucking deal. Yeah. But when you start setting boundaries, when you start enforcing those boundaries, you're basically kicking out everybody saying, get the fuck out of my head. You don't belong in here. This is my head, my brain. How dare you fuck it up? How dare you enter my brain? And I'll tell you, when I was being raped, I was thinking this shit. I told him, I think I've been roofied. And he didn't even stop. Didn't even stop to have a conversation. He just kept fucking me. And he told me, no, you just had too many edibles. And I said to my brain, he just gaslit you. He's a narcissist. And he's not stopping. Anybody else would have stopped. Anybody else would have immediately pulled out, said, whoa, 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 we need to talk. But he didn't. Why? Why, Anna? Why didn't he do that? Because he's guilty. Because he's raping you. You're being raped. You know what happens next. I know what happens next. Yes, my subconscious mind starts to side with him. You got to keep your Rick. You got to keep your subconscious mind on your side, because that's how narcissism works. And I could feel my subconscious mind. I could feel Rick already heading over to the narcissist. I could see Mr. Nimbus standing there, controlling and just twisting his way into my brain. And I felt Rick sliding away from me. I felt him literally leaving me. And my identity and my self-defense system was strong. And my beautiful little angel, my identity and my defense system kicked on. Now, I wasn't able to speak because I was that intoxicated. I was that drugged. It took 30 minutes for me to open my mouth and unlock my jaw all through here to speak. So I went to work and said on my subconscious. Angel said, okay, this is the identity. This is what we need to be preserved. These are the beliefs. We must keep our perspective. We must understand what is happening to us, because you don't consent. My basic core belief is that if you are too intoxicated, then you are too intoxicated to consent. You are intoxicated, and he knows it, because he laughed at you and said, wow, you are so drugged, while he was having sex with you before you even mentioned the roofies. Oh, he fucking knew. So when all of these little players are in my brain, pulling all of this apart, my identity, because I had her enforced, because I was able to make her into the strong Leviathan, she was able to say, come on, we're going to keep this shit together. My identity stepped in and kept shit together. So that while my subconscious Rick was taking off and betraying me with his perspective, and he was starting to follow Mr. Nimbus, the narcissist inside of my head, Angel was already busy at work holding down the fort. And the defense system was down because I physically couldn't speak. But Angel held it together. My identity held it together. That is how I recovered and kept my shit together 1 week after being raped. That's what everybody needs to learn. How to enforce, grow, and solidify their identity so well that if something happens while the subconscious is being manipulated and broken down and taken away from you, your identity is strong enough to keep shit together. Yeah. And the next day, well, the next week, after I got my subconscious back, Rick was able to turn on the defense system. Angel was able to calm down a little bit. That defense system went whirring. I was able to vocally go out there and say, this is what happened to me. This is what was done to me. Defense system worked. The rapist lashed out. He humiliated me. He publicly humiliated me. He dragged me through the mud. I pulled away from the community out of embarrassment and shame and fear. I need to resolve that. I will later. But for now, this is how fear works. This is how defense works. This is the breakdown of safety. Nurture your identity. Nurture your safety. Take care of your cognitive core. Get rid of the limiting beliefs. Rick will take care of the rest. Turn that goddamn fear system off. Soothe the Jerry until the Jerry is gone. Jerry is supposed to be this little itty bitty mousy man who has a little bitty emotion that goes, ah. Imagine a mouse with a little red flag that he just waves. That's what Jerry is supposed to be. A little mouse with a little red flag. That's all Jerry really is. And you're supposed to pet the little mouse on the head every now and then and be like, hey, it's okay. I know you're scared. It's all right. That's the safety, reinforcing the fear system that it's okay and don't panic. That's how the psychology works. But when you have your defense system down, when you do not use your boundaries, when you do not voice and enforce your boundaries, what ends up happening is your fear system turns on, and Rick's got to act accordingly. He goes, oh, okay, fear system is on. We're going to have to activate the fail safes to keep the cognitive core and the identity whole, or at least safe. And in order to do that, mental illnesses are required. What kind of trauma do we have? We have fear-based trauma. Activate the PTSD. Oh God, I can see it so clearly. We have pain and safety. Activate the codependency, borderline personality disorder, and narcissistic abuse syndrome. I need to make a correction. 3609. Anna. This is me making notes to myself. 3609. Primary core emotions. There are 4 of them. The primary motivator emotions is not pain. Anna, it's not pain. It is safety. It is literally safety itself. That's what pain is. Huh. Oh, safety and pain were used. All right, activate that codependency, activate the narcissistic abuse syndrome, activate that borderline personality disorder. Oh, wait. Guilt was the primary emotion that was used. The neighbor kid is in here and he's the primary instigator. All right, you know what we got to do? Activate that addiction. That's how you're going to feel in control. That's how you're going to feel safe. Activate that addiction now. Become the martyr. That's how you're going to do it. If you're a martyr, you'll be safe because we are safety seeking. That's what mental illnesses are, is safety seeking. Okay, 3727. I'm like, yeah, this is like me brainstorming. This is why it's like soup, people. It's like soup. Yes. So, and that's it. That's it right there. We are safety seeking. Safety seeking is mental illnesses. Oh, I get this one now. Power. Power was used to hurt you and control you. Feeling empowered. You are belittled. This belittlement is what that somebody did to you to make you, to control you. You know what we got to do now? We got to activate the narcissism. So now you have all these mental illnesses in your head. That's all activated. Attachment styles are activated. Mental illnesses are activated because you are in safety seeking mode. That's what the fear system really is. The fear system is safety seeking mode. See how that works? Because the defense system is down. So you can either use your boundaries or you can have mental illnesses. You can choose. Do you want mental illnesses or your boundaries? The more boundaries you have, the more safety you have. We don't need the mental illnesses. We can turn them off. And when you do start using your boundaries, the mental illnesses turn off because the fear system shuts down. And when the fear system shuts down, it shuts off the mental illness fail safes. That's right. Knock down the dominoes one by one. This is conscious awareness method. This is the imagination method. This is what I invented. This is my life work. This is my baby. This is what I discovered yesterday. I finally concluded it. I could finally see all the dominoes and I found that first one. This is all about safety. You activate the safety. You turn down the safety. The fear system turns on. The fear system and the Rick work together to start activating the mental illnesses because you enter safety seeking mode. But if you increase the safety, the fear calms down. There it is. That's all it takes. The problem, the challenge, is locating all the limiting beliefs and the false perspectives based on the toxic beliefs. That's going to be my next. I see it, it's the big picture, but I got to literally dig right into it and get cozy with the cognitive core. I am convinced that when I am done, I will only need a 100-page book to explain all of this. Oh, I hear it now. The universe just went, write the book. Anna, message received. I'm supposed to write this book. And the book is going to be so logically precise that all you have to do is read these 100 pages and you'll be cured. Look at me, I'm serious. I can see it. I already lay it out. Conscious awareness cures all of it. But we didn't know the subconscious was, we don't know what the subconscious is. We are unaware of what's going on with the subconscious. I figured out what's going on with the subconscious. Once I was able to plug that in, then we were able to increase ABC. We were able to put all of these pieces into place. And it all starts with safety and how safety activates safety seeking with mental illnesses. Mental illnesses are just safety seeking. And which ones you end up with depends on your coping style and how you were abused. So when you take how you were abused and you combine it with your coping style, you have your mental disorder. I am certain this will cure addiction. I know it. I just got to tweak it just the right way. It feels really good after 28 years of finally getting to this point. I'm going to meditate now. I'm going to take all this in. I can feel even more harmony and just peace and clarity in my subconscious. I have a meeting at 11. Thank you, universe. More, please. Please join my Facebook group. It's where all the magic happens. It's everything you need to know about the Healing Garden. The link is, as always, attached to this. Thank you. And may the kindness of words always find you.